Okay, so here we're going to start flying our spinnaker. So we have a special spinnaker on board. It's called a para spinnaker. So it has a slot in it that allows it to stay up in even quite gusty winds. So now I'm hauling the sail up, and we're still in the sock, and you can see the E-wincher there on the deck, which is our electric winch handle. Right. So what I'm doing is I'm feeding it out, and I'm making sure that red line you can see doesn't get twisted round. So I'm going to feed it out and then pull up. Normally Vicky would do the pulling out of the bag, and I'd be pulling up. So it's a joint operation normally, this one. Anyway, now I'm going to carry on hauling up a bit. So I'm walking back and forwards because Vic's doing the filming, and we've still got the 2-to-1 on from our code 0, but you could have just a single halyard on a spinnaker, no problem. The other line is the control line for the sock. You'll see that all in operation in a minute. Okay, so this sail was actually from France, built by Oxley, and I must admit we really do like it. It's a great cruising sail. It starts to be effective from about 5 knots of wind, and it goes up to about 18 knots of wind to be about the max. I'd probably bring it down at about 15 knots of wind. It can be flown from anywhere from right behind right down to, it supposedly goes to 70 degrees off the wind, but I think really beam reach is probably all I'd use it for. Great thing with the catamaran is you don't need a pole because you've got 2 wide holes, and we've got a bowsprit, so we can either run the tack from the bowsprit or we can run the tack from the other hull, the opposite hull to on the windward side. So I'm pretty well there now. I'm just checking the last little bit and getting everything out of the bag, the ends. There we go. And there is the line. We've got like twisting it. Let's get that little bit out of there, and then she'll be ready to haul up the sock. I'm going to raise her a little bit higher. What I'm actually doing at the moment is getting the two ends out. So they're on side. We've got the red is obviously port, and the green marked is in starboard. So we've got the lines already fed. So now it's just a case of pulling the sail up the last bit. Here she goes. I'm winching away. E-winch is great for this. Makes life a lot easier. And now I'm going to actually take that rope, and I've got it through a quick release block there, snap block, so I can quickly do it. There's one of that's the sheet. I've got the sheet going through a barber hauler, which we'll see in a minute, attached to one of our deck cleats as it happens. There we go. I'm taking the port. You can see the red stripe, that's the port, and that's going to go to the other line, which I've already got in place, which is in this case our tack. The sail is actually going to be flown on the starboard side of the boat. So that's the tack. Now I'm doing the sheet, and the sheet runs back. Just going to make sure it's going to run cleanly. Just take it around the outside of that, and then it'll be going to the barber hauler, which you can't see. I'm just going to pull in the slack. So I'm roughly setting it where I think it's going to want to be. We found this is probably quite ideal to fly reasonably high, this sail. It seems to perform better rather than have it really pulled down low. Of course you get a bit of wind off the deck anyway. So here we go. So now I'm happy we've got everything ready to go. So what I'm going to do now is use the E-wincher, and I'm going to haul it up the last bit, and we'll start to catch some wind in that sail. There we go, very nice. Now I'm going to come back and pull the sock. Here we go, watch this. Pull, 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 and the sail just pops out. There's the slot, which is the para part of the spinnaker. And this sail actually lifts the bow, which is quite nice, rather than pulls the bow down. And you see she's actually set straight away. We'll do a little bit of trimming on it. I've noticed I've got the sock haul just slightly round the wrong way, but that's no big deal. We'll just sort that out later. There we go, flying nicely. And all I'm going to do now is adjust. I'm letting out slightly on the sheet, just adjusting the sail very slightly. Very easy sail to deal with, and very easy to collapse as well, as long as you haven't left it up too long. Quite often, if I think the wind's going to be stronger, I'm going to have the main up so I can blanket the spinnaker behind the main. As you see, we're already sailing away from the island. We haven't had to use the engine at all. We've just used the spinnaker, and off she goes, smiling. Right. And we're probably starting off, we'll probably get about 5 knots at the moment speed out of it, but we're quite happy with the setup of it. There we go, just checking the speed, setting, see where the wind is. As you can see, the wind's coming from the port quarter. Yeah, I'm just pointing out where it's coming from. We're setting our course back for Port Blair because we're out in the Andaman Islands at the moment. We're just leaving Radhananga Beach, which is one of the 7 beautiful beaches of the world. It really is pretty stunning. So now we're just making sure the autopilot's on course. We're happy with everything, and that's it. Spinnaker up.